I dropped out of school 1 year ago, and I want to tell you my experience. What have my emotions been going through, what I have learned, and how I developed myself in order to make the decision to drop out, but also after dropping out, how did I develop myself, and where did I start 1 year ago when I dropped out, and where I am now. I want to share this information. Maybe you're thinking about dropping out of school, maybe you're not, maybe you're just interested, and I'm going to share with you if I regret it or not. So hang in there, we're gonna start this video. I first off wanted to say that you're not going to die if you drop out of school. That's the first thing. It can be this really big thing, but it's actually just so easy. I am very lucky that my parents did not make a big deal of this. It was my own decision, they said, so that really helps. Maybe if you have some parents that are like really tight or strict, maybe it's a little bit harder, but I would say that you're not going to die, you'll just be alright. As long as you're a mature human being and you have the power and the skills to keep on developing by yourself, you'll be absolutely fine. So guys, there were of course a lot of downsides on dropping out, but also a lot of benefits. I actually made a list and I put them side to side to make that decision. The most important pros were that I would get a diploma, I would get money from the Dutch government, which I could decide for myself how much that was. So I actually borrowed 700 euros a month, and I would just get that onto my bank account and would not spend it. So I might make another video about that, why I did that, because that's a really big opportunity if you want to take a little bit of a risk. So more on that in the future. I would be able to travel with the train for absolutely free. I would make my parents happy, which is actually a stupid reason now that I think of it, because you're living for yourself, of course. I would make a lot of connections with other students and stuff, which is actually why I loved school, like just being around, being with the teachers. Some teachers are really inspiring, and of course it's very fun to meet new people and be with students. I'm an extrovert, of course, so if you're an introvert that might not be the case, but still that was very exciting for me, and that's a big plus about school. Even though I find that most students aren't as motivated as I was. So of course when you drop out, it's really important that you are motivated yourself. Otherwise you're just going to be a loser, of course, if you're just going to drink beer, smoke weed all day instead of actually working on yourself. So that's a quality you need to have, not smoking weed or drinking beer. You need to have the quality to be able to work on yourself, having that dedication to be self-developed. That's really important. But that was a little bit off topic. Let's get back to the list. Eventually I would maybe like to become a teacher, which now is very hard because I don't have a diploma, and in order to become a teacher here in the Netherlands you need to have a diploma, which is quite obvious, of course, but I closed that road because I made this decision and I didn't have to pay back like all the travels I did with the train, which I do have to do now. So now we're getting to the cons of dropping out. The cons of dropping out would be that I would have to write a scriptie. How's that in English? It's like a document where you have to do an investigation for a company, you have to do market research, and you have to work with like a program that's called SPSS, which I actually want to stab it if it was a fucking thing. Oh, I hate that program. So happy I dropped out. So yeah, I had to make like that market research and stuff, and I had to type everything in a big fucking document with all the... Can you tell that I hate that? That's one of the reasons why I dropped out. Like, it's insane. So I've dyslexia, so I'm really bad at writing and spelling, and just making that would be a hell. So that's something I find really important. If you have to do something, because that was the main problem for me with my study, is that you have to do some things like making that document. Well, I already know, like, I am never in my life going to do that for a company, at least not where my spelling needs to be correct. If I am ever going to create a document for a company or whatever, I'm just going to tell them straight up, like, I'm dyslexic, don't watch my spelling, don't watch my grammar, it's insanely bad. But if you have to do something for your study and you don't want to do it, and it's such a big thing because that was going to take for half a year, I don't think that's worth it. Why would you go through all that pain and sorrow for just a stupid little paper? Just because some guy can then say like, oh, he's smart because he has that paper. And if you are on a study, you know that there are a lot of kids who are maybe in your classroom that are going to get that paper but are still stupid as fuck. Like, that's just a reality. There are so many kids at school, at studies, even at universities, that you would actually say like, well, he isn't that smart, but he's still going to get that paper. So what's that paper really worth then? For me, it's not much. For you, of course, especially if you want to become a doctor or a lawyer, it's very important. So don't get me wrong, for some studies it's really important, but especially in the marketing scene, it's not that important. That's what I find. So onto the next con. I am actually missing 11,000 euros, which I could have borrowed from the government here in the Netherlands, which is a big miss. That's it, actually. So those are the pros and cons that I've been going through. Now, at the end, of course, you know, I made the decision to drop out. And I must say, right now, I could have still been studying. This will be my last half a year, and I believe that the most important reason for you to drop out will be to follow your dreams. I know that might sound really cliche, and it kind of is, but the cliches most of the times are true. That's why they are cliches, otherwise they wouldn't become cliches. And I really believe that if you want to drop out, you should know what you want to pursue, and not like completely, so you don't have to be like 100% sure, like, I'm going to be a video editor in this niche and that market and I have those clients. But I was 100% sure that I wanted to become a video editor, and that was just my passion, and I wanted to use that to improve the world, to maybe help people like you, or to showcase some other things happening around the world. I knew that. And if your study is not a video study, so I did a marketing study which has nothing to do with videography, I learned everything myself through YouTube, then what's the point of getting on with that study if it's not leading you to what you want to become? So I believe that if you know what you want to be, if you know what your passion is, if you know what your... So yes guys, the camera just died over there, so I now have a new fit, not a bandana anymore, but it's alright, we're just gonna continue the video. So as I was saying, I believe that it is very important for you to know what you want to pursue in order to drop out. For me, I knew that, so if you know what you want in this life, go and fucking get it. I swear to God, don't let the schooling system or anything stop you, because I was at a point where I knew what I wanted to do, and if you are at the same point, you could forever say to yourself, well, in the next year, or I was gonna say in another life, but that's of course the stupid thing to say, next year, or then, whatever you can think of. So for me it was like, well, let me just finish my study 1 year, and then I'll get out of debt for another year, and then so I could come up with excuses like, let me just first buy a car, let me just first buy a home, let me just... No! Drop out now if you need to drop out. If you need to follow your dreams, if you want to follow your dreams and you know what your dreams are, drop out, please. And I am saying this because you only have one life, well, at least that we know of. You are living this life and you're gonna die eventually, and you might as well do what you like, you might as well follow your dreams and take a risk. The younger you are, the more risk you should take. And the older you are, the less time you've got to live, so the more you should do things that you like. No, especially if you're really young, like take risks now. And when you have a family to feed or whatever, it's much harder to take those risks. So 1 year later, and my video production company is going great. It's actually really good. Not that I have that much clients, but I have worked half year for a marketing agency, which I should have actually had that degree for, that I was studying for. So that wasn't a great sentence, but whatever, you get what I mean. I should have got that degree in order to get that job, but I have that job anyway, just because I'm self-assured and I could tell that boss over there, like, this is what I want to do, this is my passion, and I want to be at this place. I want to edit videos for you at your company. And if you can be that confident about your dreams, then people will pick that up and they'll trust you. And as long as you deliver what you promise them, then you'll be fine and you'll get a great job. And that took me half a year, to be fair. Like, be patient. I was just focusing on getting better for half a year, and after that half a year I got in contact with that guy and he trusted me even though I skipped school, and I got the job. As long as you believe in yourself, you're gonna get the job. And now, after half a year of working there, I'm out of debt. That 5k debt is all gone. I'm now 5k up in the plus. So I'm saving up for traveling, what I already wanted to do. Now kind of hard with COVID. But afterwards, I've already saved a lot. I can travel and it's just amazing. And to be really fair with you, after taking a risk like this, I can't even wait to take another big risk. And maybe that risk will fucking destroy me, but you'll learn a lot. If you go to tough times, and you might even create those tough times like yourself, like of course it was my own decision to drop out, so I created my own tough times, but you'll still learn a lot of things. If you do not choose the battles will choose you. So choose your battles, take your risks, otherwise they'll just come to you. Because if you play it safe and you are not following your dreams, those regrets will come and they will hunt you down. So you might as well take the risks. So yeah, everything is going great. My English is much better. I started with YouTube. For me, I'm like a guy who wanna put all his efforts into something. I go all in, so that's just a personality trait of mine. You could do both, like that's also a great thing. But for me, I know I need to focus fully on one thing, even though I still procrastinate and stuff. Like, but even that procrastination time, I can't be thinking about my study that I don't want to pursue. I have to pursue something for 100%, and that's just me. I hope this video helped you. Maybe you are now clearer to make a decision, you have a more clear mind. If you have any questions, be sure to contact me. We could call, or you could comment down below and I will answer your questions. I would love to answer your questions. I want to do more of this, talking to you guys. I've already said that, but this video is 100% talking, so I'm really going to pick this up. I'm hoping to help you out, and I can't wait to grow myself, teach you new lessons, and let's stay connected. See you in the next one. Bye! Thank you for watching my video all the way up till the end. I hope you liked it. Please consider subscribing and don't forget to like the video. If you're not done seeing my face, you could watch my latest video or check out the other video. I really want to thank you, and I hope to see you in the next one.